Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind. About your mother?
My mother?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my mother.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Cells.
Do they keep you in a cell? Cells.
Cells.
When you're not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
This causes it. This causes it. This causes it. Information overload. All the electronics around you poisoning the airwaves.
You are listening to the High Tech Low Life podcast, a cyberpunk media retrospective. High Tech Low Life contains language and themes not suitable for all audiences, as well as spoilers for the content being covered. Listener discretion is advised.
Adventures of Pluto Nash, more like Adventures of Pluto Butt. That's one of the zingers you can expect to hear on today's episode of the High Tech Low Life program with your hosts, Eric and Josh. My name is Eric.
And I am, sadly, Josh.
We're here. That joke that I just made at the beginning of our show to intro it is better than any joke in the movie Adventures of Pluto Nash, I would guess.
There is one 30-second bit in this movie that actually
don't burn it.
Pulled a laugh out of me.
Don't burn it, because we're going to get to it and we're going to need it.
Yeah, we really are, because it's a long ways in. Like way too far in.
Milk that bit, because this movie was dull.
I watched this movie, as always, sadly, twice.
Poor bastard.
And neither time took me less than 3 hours, because I kept being like, I guess I could empty out the fucking dishwasher. Yeah, I'll stop the movie and go do that. Like, literally. I was emptying the dishwasher as I realized I am 2.5 hours into this 90-minute movie.
Every time I'm like 3 hours into editing one of our super long episodes like last week, I tell myself, at least I don't have to watch Pluto Nash twice.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off. Anyway, we'll get to Pluto Nash and his madcap adventures in a moment. First, we have to do the stuff we always do on this show, and we have asked the masses if we should keep doing dystopia talk, and most of the responses we got back were, yes, keep doing it. We like to trauma bond with you. So
we're going to keep going.
Yeah. You asked for it and we deliver.
You demanded it and we're going to give it to you.
I think the biggest dystopia news this week is Liberation Day.
Yes, it's very exciting.
You feel liberated from your money?
I feel liberated from the possibility of ever having money again.
Yeah, not just money now. Future money is.
Yeah, it's. I haven't gone into it in depth on the podcast, or I think even to Eric, but I am in a precarious financial situation right now, and I have been waiting on some legal and financial processes to clear up so I can get some money. It prior to, a week ago was an okay chunk of change that would have provided me with some security, the ability to, get health insurance again, and the drugs I need for my heart. Now assuming there's no major bounce backs in the next couple of weeks, I could maybe buy an okay used car, or afford health insurance for maybe a calendar year. So things are going great here.
Good fucking times.
Yeah.
But yes, it was stupid.
Yeah, it's deeply dumb. I mean, it's the dumbest possible option in any situation.
That really encapsulates it better than anything. Why is it so dumb? Why is it so dumb, Josh? Just tell me.
Well,
Like, I don't think Idiocracy is a great movie,
no.
but it is seems to be the most likely outcome.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You can kind of back your way into some math about how this makes sense with with Trump's position, where he is a dumb guy. He doesn't understand that tariffs cost consumers money, and he also hates the concept of having to pay taxes. So this is a perfect solution if you're a very dumb rich person who doesn't want to pay taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, and he clearly, and the people in control clearly do not give even the slightest shit about, say, the people in America or the actual drivers of the economy. They only slightly care about the big numbers economy of stock market things.
Yeah, but that clearly isn't.
Theoretically, that could bounce back. I don't know. If you listen to really dumb economists who basically just make shit up, which these people clearly do, theoretically we'll be entering a fucking golden age, and all of our children will be assembling iPhones.
That's the end goal, I guess, is that they want us and our children to be in factories making trinkets.
Well, the children yearn for the mines.
For China, I guess, who's going to probably be having their shit produced here. I don't why do we want to be like China?
I don't know.
There's a lot of good reasons. They got a really great high-speed rail system. Like, there's a lot of things we could emulate from China, but like mass producing goods, I don't think is one of them.
It's a really this is something that I'm very, I don't know, I'm pretty educated on, and I'm kind of conflicted on, okay, so they seem to be wanting to undo the past, 30 odd years of the world economy and the effects of globalization. Mm-hmm. And globalization is a hugely mixed bag. I took a graduate level class called The Geographies of Globalization, and it's a crazily complex subject. I mean, sure, on the one hand, it allows countries like the United States to export really low paid labor and all sorts of environmental degradation to the global south. Mm-hmm. And that's bad. Yeah. On the other hand, it has also lifted millions and millions of people out of poverty because, screwing together tiny components in an iPhone is more lucrative and allows for a, theoretically better life than scratching holes in the dirt in an overpopulated, underfertile, third world country. So it's like it's something I'm very conflicted about. I am absolutely not conflicted about the concept of why don't we bring terrible labor practices
back home
and environmental degradation here. I would much rather get rid of those on a global scale than have them next to my apartment. I mean, which is already not great, but I don't.
I think that they're trying to say it's going to be back like, the 50s and 60s where dad could go to his manufacturing job, make enough money to support the whole family, but that is never going to happen.
And it was barely a thing then.
Even a fucking moron can see that is never going to happen because that is not going to allow Apple to make enough money.
Yeah,
unless their iPhones are $3,000 a piece, which is probably what's going to happen.
And the only way we had that stuff is because of the strong unionization of the manufacturing industries, which we've spent, we in a broad sense have spent the past 50 fucking years now crushing.
And the incredibly high tax rates on ultra wealthy that force these companies to put their money back into their businesses rather than just writing checks to their CEOs.
Yeah. It's I'm like, I've taken some classes about this stuff. I've done a bunch of reading. I am still pretty dumb about it. I mean, I don't know. Partially it's because economics is, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's called the dismal science. I would argue with the back half of that pretty solidly.
It's pretty magical in a lot of ways.
A lot of it is very magical thinking. I don't know, man.
Well, to get back on to the tariff specifically, I've heard people posit that, and this seems maybe one of the more credible reasonings for Trump's doing this, is that he can now go to industries, go to countries, and demand them pledge fealty to him.
Yeah. And
he removes their tariffs. And I guess that makes sense. It seems like an insane way to... the whole fucking world is beholden to this insanity. It's...
Yeah. Just to complicate things a little more, it's not like these are, we've certainly had big tariff runs before. People are talking about it all over the place online, usually preceding, big depressions and stuff. Mm-hmm. But even ignoring those, I mean, we've got tons of tariffs on shit, as of 3 years ago. And those, I would argue, are still fucking bad. If you look at arguably what I'm given to understand are the best and most advanced electric cars in the world. Also, the most, the greatest value. It's a Chinese company called BYD.
I've heard of those, yeah.
Yeah, it stands for Build Your Dreams. So, fun name for a car company. They outperform Teslas in every possible fucking metric. They make every type of car. They sell, the equivalent of a fucking Geo Metro, and they sell the equivalent of a, Mercedes S660. And those vehicles, because of, U.S. tariffs and protectionism, largely in defense of the American automakers, including Mr. Musk, those already have, even prior to a week ago, 100% tax, 100% tariff on them as soon as they cross into the U.S.
Yep.
So they can't sell cars here. And I don't think that's good.
No, I don't think that's good either. Maybe that's just the libertarian in us talking.
Yeah.
Just to tie this all into our show and what we like to talk about here, it also has been rumored that the way Trump and his team devised how to tariff, who to tariff, was that they just simply ask GPT.
Yeah.
It certainly looks that way. Obviously we'll never know for sure, but it really looks that way.
Yeah. The fact that yes, I have seen, the results of somebody asking ChatGPT how to tariff and it coming up with the exact numbers and stuff. The fact that I've seen that, but only after this came out, it's impossible to know if ChatGPT is just pulling directly from, government
whatever
websites.
He pulled from. Yeah.
Or if it, honestly is from ChatGPT initially. And I don't even know that it fucking matters. It's all stupid. It's the dumbest possible shit.
It's a human centipede of bad data, just eating and shitting back into each other's mouth in a circle until we all are dead and broke.
Yeah.
So there you go, motherfuckers. You wanted us to keep keep doing this, so we did it.
Here is a little more dystopia talk, just a little bit that I know is going to have Eric's attention.
Ooh.
The Yankees and their torpedo bats. How do you feel about that? Huh?
Is that dystopian?
It is. It's the Yankees. If it was the fucking Tigers, I wouldn't bring it up now.
Poor Tigers. As we were talking about before we started recording, I've been hyper focusing baseball to disassociate, and I've heard a lot of talk about torpedo bats, and honestly, cool with them. I think they're cool. Whatever.
I'm pretty excited for them. I mean, not, the baseball thing is secondary. I am just very interested to see where that goes in the adult industry.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think I do.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, they're within the rules.
They're legal fucking bats. Just,
Yankees have the money.
Yankees, keep your eyes on where the pine tar is.
Yeah, we never forget.
Motherfuckers.
Let's stop talking about baseball.
Okay,
man.
that sounds good.
Literally, people are zoning out. There's so few people. It's such a niche thing, and so few people care.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about fucking football. That's for sure.
No, I'll never talk about that. All right, let's talk about. I guess recommendos. Do you have any? I don't think I have any this week.
I got a couple. Okay. Number one, I watched Mickey 17.
Oh, cool.
I thought it was pretty good. If you thought that Bong Joon-ho was, maybe being a little too subtle in Snowpiercer and Parasite and Okja, this movie is for you.
Okay. Parasite subtle is not what I've heard, but sure.
That is exactly what I am saying. You remember how subtle Snowpiercer was and its critique of capitalism and classism? Right. Mickey 17 makes it really dials down the subtlety.
Well, we've learned that's what you have to do now.
Apparently. I don't know. It's I liked many aspects of the film. But others were just kind of tiring and just like, yeah, okay, I see the fucking joke. A big part of it was like when you see a post and people are just saying drumpf or lowercase t, capital R, UMP. It's a lot of that, basically. And I find that just exhausting.
Yeah. I really just hate nicknames in general. Like people call Elon Muskrat. It's like, that's easy.
if I was just fully in control and everything was at my whim, I would immediately fucking delete every post involving those. Just stop it, man.
The only exclusion of this is, of course, a killer joke like Adventures of Pluto, but
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I also saw Black Bag. Have you seen any trailers for this or anything?
No, I don't even think I've heard of it.
It is the new Steven Soderbergh film. Just came out a couple of weeks ago. It's now on, I think, HBO Max. I don't know, 7 Seas, whatever. Stars Michael Fassbender and Kate Blanchett. And and basically the premise of the movie is, what if international espionage, but the main character was a wife guy? It was great, pretty horny, and it's another one of those things where, wow, this is like an adult drama movie, and like there's it's mostly people talking in rooms and like tension because of it.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah, it's
kind of old school.
Yeah, it's the type of shit that would have won some Oscars 15 years ago. But
Black Bag, and it is a movie.
Yes, it is a movie.
Okay.
Do you have anything?
I've been racking my brain, and no, I don't. I've just been watching Severance and Top Chef. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, so my last thing just came out this week, actually 2 days ago. It's a new series on Hulu. It is called Dying for Sex.
Okay. I've seen some snippets of this, and I think I got to watch it. Obviously,
the reason I bring it up for this show is because we have graciously inherited many listeners from our previous shows. It stars Michelle Williams, and
Lil Jen Lindley.
Who
I believe Josh is on record as saying she is, quote, pretty.
You just blew my joke from 10 seconds in the future.
God damn it. That's such an old reference.
When I was watching it yesterday, I literally thought, God damn, she's pretty. Okay, I have to mention that on the show.
I genuinely apologize for blowing your joke because I hate it when people do that.
It's honestly fine and possibly funnier this way.
It's a classic Creek of the Week quote.
Michelle Williams plays a woman who gets diagnosed with terminal cancer, leaves her fairly unpleasant marriage, and partially because she mentions she has never had an orgasm with another person.
Oh, just like Jen Lindley.
Yeah, that's probably true, sadly.
Jen Lindley never has anything good in her life.
Yeah. It is a really good show. And Rob Delaney is...
Oh, Rob Delaney's in it?
Yes, and he is fucking amazing.
Oh, I gotta see this show.
Yeah, it's... everybody in the show is fucking great. I mean, and it's like 8 episodes. I don't know, they're half hours-ish.
Is it Hulu?
Yes.
I need to get Hulu.
Spoiler alert, as the premise of the show states, like 15 minutes in, she dies at the end. But it's
the only show that's ever happened before. So watch every other Michelle Williams movie.
Yeah. This I spent, like, up until the very last episode and a half, right up until that point, I was so pleased to not be, or to be watching a Michelle Williams thing that I couldn't describe as harrowing.
Yeah.
Because that is the normal mode that she acts in. Like, that's the projects she's in. And I mean,
like Venom.
Actually, she was very fun in Venom.
I've never actually seen it.
This Venom, and what was the one where she played like a fashion magazine editor? I don't know. It's probably 10 years ago. It doesn't matter.
She's also in The Greatest Showman.
I never saw that and don't think I ever will.
I probably won't either. Not a musical guy.
Yeah, seems not up my alley. Anyway, it's great. You know, there are dark moments sprinkled in with a light, but fuck, there is some really, really funny and happy shit in it.
I look forward to it. I love Michelle Williams and I love Rob Delaney.
Yeah, it will be going on. I am nearly certain it will be going on my top 10 list at the end of the year.
Oh, good.
I hope she win. I hope everybody involved with the show wins a bunch of Grammys. No, Emmys.
I mean, give them some Grammys. They're talented. I want Michelle Williams to EGOT. That would be,
she could. Yeah,
she definitely could. She just needs to get in. I mean, I'm sure she's done stage musicals before.
Probably. I mean, she was in that fucking Greatest Showman shit.
How did she get her Grammy? That's going to be the tough one. Maybe her and Busy Phillips could put an album out.
Oh, she could honestly, she hasn't yet, but she could honestly get a Grammy for reading a book.
Oh, nice.
Because she read Britney Spears' autobiography last year, I think.
That's right. She did.
And she's done it. She's done a couple other audiobooks.
She should do Cyberpunk. I would love that.
Oh, man. Fucking hire Michelle Williams to record a new audiobook version of Pattern Recognition.
Yeah, or Hardwired.
Yeah, okay.
Just hear Michelle Williams talk about T-birds cruising across southern Missouri. That would be the shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I could nut harder.
All right. I think that ends our recommendos portion.
Yeah. Sadly, now it's time for the main meat of the show. Okay.
So we were recommended this in the High Tech Low Life channel.
Name and shame. Name and shame.
The Astronomica Discord. It was brought to us. I couldn't remember who specifically, so I had to go back and confirm. It's Matt87. You know who you are. You did this to us.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
And
seriously.
He called it a certified banger, obviously in jest, but yeah.
If it's not in jest, I don't know how he has survived ever hearing our show.
I remembered liking this when I saw it in 2002, or I think I saw it on HBO or something. and not necessarily liking, but like not seeing why everybody hated it. And I think I can still justify that opinion because it's a competently enough made movie that
I would argue with that.
I mean, I can follow the plot.
Okay.
The acting is fine. There was nothing enjoyable about it.
I will definitely agree with that.
I don't know. I was expecting it to be more like, I don't know, more just campy or bad or just not, I don't know, more like offensively bad. And it's not offensive at all.
I was actually really, I hesitate to say this. I was pleasantly surprised that there wasn't a pile of fucking gay panic and, trans panic humor.
So clearly they were trying to make Eddie Murphy's Fifth Element, right?
I guess.
That was the goal. It was like Fifth Element / Men in Black.
That hadn't crossed my mind.
Really? That's all I could think of, is how much I'd rather be watching The Fifth Element.
Oh, I think it probably didn't cross my mind because The Fifth Element has literally everything going for it over this movie. Like,
it does.
There is no comparison other than there's space. It's the future.
They got the same aesthetic, this like bright colored,
I guess,
kind of goofy space movie.
So you want to hear some things about versions of this movie that didn't fucking happen.
Yes. And also I think we should say we're going to blast through the recap because
we absolutely are. It sucks. Okay.
All the jokes don't land.
This movie, the script was originally written in 1983.
Wow.
Yeah. Different people were attached to it over time. Some directors. Let me click these guys and see if I recognize any of their work. The guy who directed Halloween 2, Rick Rosenthal, was on it for a hot minute. And the guy who directed Crocodile Dundee and Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. Oh, and Dutch, which featured... I
love Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch is a pretty all right movie, as I recall.
Those guys were attached. From being a kid, yeah.
Yeah. Various stars were attached, including... Let this marinate for a fucking second. Harrison Ford.
It's marinating, and it's not.
It's
not making a nice piece of meat.
No, it is not. There were literally 19 years of different versions of the script going around, and it's all done by the same guy, or at least Neil Cuthbert is the original writer, and he's the only one credited on it. So. I don't know what that means, if they had rewrites, whatever. Ron Underwood, who directed City Slickers, and also, am I thinking right? Did he do Kevin Costner baseball movie?
Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams, yes. I think he also did Field of Dreams.
I mean, it's amazing that I picked that one because Kevin Costner has done like 10 of those.
That's true. Oh, no, he did Tremors.
Tremors, yeah.
Yes.
Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, director.
I wonder who did. Anyway, might be another Ron. So he ended up getting...
We've reached our yearly allotment of baseball talk, so we cannot go deeper into that.
We can't go into it. Also, there Harrison or Sylvester Stallone was attached for a while.
I could see that actually.
Eventually, and after Mighty Joe Young, like circa 98, 99, Ron Underwood got attached to it. And then Eddie Murphy came on board with the idea that we're going to take this relatively straight script, like it's not apparently the script raw at that time. Eddie Murphy reference.
That's what I was thinking.
Was not a comedy per se.
It doesn't feel like a comedy.
And the idea that the producers and the director had when Eddie Murphy came on board was that, okay, so we will have, like, Eddie can provide all the comedy because he had done that on, that's how 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, like the Beverly Hills Cop script was, initially a Stallone vehicle with no humor in it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Then Eddie Murphy came on. He talked with Martin Brest, the producer or the director, and they basically rewrote the script to be a comedy movie. And this was kind of a thing that Eddie was known for. He'd come on to movies that aren't comedies, and he can make it a comedy just by fucking being there. In this instance, he does not.
No, I don't know why it failed in this instance.
I maybe because he was no longer funny.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Previous to this, the last Eddie Murphy thing I can think of that was funny was Bowfinger, which he is not the driving force behind that movie being funny.
I just don't. I don't usually buy into people say that people stop being funny. I think they're still funny. They just, well, I guess it doesn't matter. They make safer choices because they want to take their career in a different direction, which I guess equates to them not being funny anymore.
Yeah, but I would say, God, what a weird career Eddie Murphy has had.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And it's probably the only time to talk about it because I don't think we're ever going to have Eddie Murphy come up on our show ever again.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Boy.
I'm a fan. Like, I've always loved Eddie Murphy, even some of his bad. Maybe that's why I like Pluto Nash, because I've always liked Eddie Murphy. The first time I saw it, I mean. I
think when Eddie Murphy is working, he is fucking amazing. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I think it was just last year I went and watched Beverly Hills Cop, and fuck, man, there are very few people who can be funnier than Eddie Murphy when he is on. I mean,
yeah, the My Girl Wants to Party All the Time video.
Oh, yes,
doesn't get any better than that. Shrek is probably the most successful thing he's done since this movie. Donkey is funny if you're into the Shrek movies. Which,
they're not my bag, but yeah, he's funny as a donkey. What wouldn't he be?
Anyway, okay. It's fascinating. I would like a whole career retrospective podcast on Eddie Murphy because there's some people you can just see they were trying to steer their career and the repercussions. Eddie's one. I think Tom Cruise is another one where you can just see him making safe choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And although he did very well for himself and he's very successful and he probably got everything he wanted, there's got to be like an artist inside of him that's like, what if I had been a little more bold in my choices,
I think I've heard people discussing this before. There are some very clear inflection points where you can, like, from one day to the next, you can see a change in how Tom Cruise is being a person in public now.
Yeah. And what if he'd gone a different direction, he could have been, I think he could have been, I mean, obviously he's the biggest movie star of all time, but he could have been an artist, man.
Yeah. Anyway, related to that, R.I.P. fucking Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah. We should have mentioned that earlier.
I don't know. He was in a couple of terrible looking fucking cyberpunk movies.
Yeah, we might see him.
Yeah, at some point.
We could have picked one of those for next week.
I don't know if they're available.
Yeah, true. I wanted real quick. Can we just touch on some? It won't take long at all. Positive aspects of Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Okay.
I think maybe because it had 20 years to work on, but I think the world building is kind of a cool idea. This idea of a moon colony separate from Earth, where it's kind of like a Las Vegas type situation that's being built up there. I think that has legs.
So you mean Venusville from Total Recall a month ago?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not the same as what they're doing here,
except with much brighter lighting.
Yeah, much brighter. No, they're both lit very brightly.
Yeah, I know, and I am emphasizing that this one is lit even more brightly and less artistically.
I think Rosario Dawson was doing the best she could with what she had.
She did not have much to work with, but Rosario Dawson is always good. I mean, like, she's, yeah.
Pam Grier is in it. It's always nice to see Pam Grier.
Like, I found her appearance in this film to be baffling. Why, unless Eddie Murphy was literally like throwing Pam Grier a bone. Like, you got a big tax bill coming up. Let me get you a day and a half on my movie. I do not know why she was in this film. I love Pam Grier, clearly.
Yeah. And I think in a very early 2000s way, I kind of like some of the costumes and set design and outfits. I know it's cheesy. I think it was meant to be. I kind of like the look of the movie. So I don't know. That's not really much praise, but I don't think it's a big flaw of it.
I do not like the look of the movie.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Jay Moore's kilt. You got to admit, guy's got stems.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this movie starts in the year 2080.
And ends in the year 2080. Movie over.
I wish. Jesus. It starts in the year 2080. We're on the moon. There is a cover by something called the 40 Watt Club of the song Blue Moon. And it's like one of the worst things I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's deeply bad.
Most of the music in this film, whether being performed by the cast or someone else, is pretty horrible.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the music of 2002. We're on the moon. We're in an area called Little America because it's like Little Italy or Chinatown or something like that. It's very funny. They get away from having to do any special effects for 95% of the film by putting a little sign that says full gravity ahead, which is why there's only like 45 seconds of the movie where people are acting like there's low gravity.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very great.
I didn't even notice that, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
Because I will get to it.
It's hard to care about anything in this movie. We go to a bar. It's filthy. Jay Moore is wearing a kilt and playing an accordion. His name is Anthony Frankowski, and he's a Scottish crooner. Eddie Murphy's the only one in the club. They're friends.
There's some derelict-looking dudes in there.
Yeah, okay.
It had a real Patty's Pub vibe to it.
Sure, yeah. And Eddie Murphy says, why don't you try to do something else, like, I don't know, rip off Frank Sinatra? And this is the most original idea in the world. Let me check again. Is it the year 2802? No, it's literally less than 100 years after Frank Sinatra has died.
Really?
The idea of
near?
Yeah, man. It's 2080. Like,
I heard him say the 80s, but I never heard the 20 part. So I thought it could have been like 2180. Like, who knows?
Yeah. It's one of those movies that suffers from, okay, we're going to throw it into the deep future in 70 years.
But literally all of their references are from the year 2000.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like they're dated for the movie.
So anyway, Moore thinks this is a great idea. He's going to change his name and become an Italian crooner. And it's definitely going to come back up in the end. So then Moore's getting beat up, and some mobsters are going to pour some battery acid down his throat. And then it turns out that Eddie Murphy, playing Pluto Nash, knew the brother of this mobster while he was in prison. He used to be a smuggler. And they have a good time, and basically he saves Jay Moore, gets the bar, like pays the mobster, pays Jay Moore's debt off, and gets the bar. And the mobster is played by Paulie from the Rocky films, the guy who fucks the robot.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. You said the Rocky films, and then you referenced the worst Rocky film.
Well,
the dumbest part of it.
The most notable thing is that he's fucking that robot.
This kind of leads me into like one of my biggest. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's a big problem I have with the movie.
Sure.
Like I said, I love Eddie Murphy. Even in his bad movies, sometimes I can enjoy watching him, and he's charismatic enough in this. But his character has no flaws. His character is perfect and capable.
Yeah.
In everything he does, and there is no tension that he won't ever pull off whatever he's trying to do. He's not even like a typical, like, highly capable guy who's like vulnerable and can't like open up
Yeah.
to women. He's good with women. Everything about him is perfect. So like, why are we following this guy?
Well, because he's going to have some adventures, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
So
Anyway,
then we
continue.
jump ahead 7 years. Why? I don't know. To 2087. The same bar is now popping. It's named Pluto's. It's terrible inside. It's now a very fancy club where people are dancing horribly to bad music.
Mandatory cyberpunk club scene.
And it's, again, very brightly lit.
Mm-hmm. It was the 2000s, baby. You saw Jason X.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bad version of Venusville from Total Recall. It's the only place in it's established that on the outskirts of this part of the moon is the only place in the galaxy where gambling is legal. Soon, gambling might be legalized on all of the moon. That's like the plot of this movie. As far as it's got a plot, I don't know, it's bad. So Rosario Dawson walks up. She's very pretty. I mean, she's Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
Michelle Williams.
She ends up talking to Eddie Murphy, where he's pretending not to be Pluto Nash. And there's a really funny, hilarious thing where he pretends like he's not him. And it turns out that he knew her father. She's from Salt Lake City.
Josh, I want to play a game.
A tough town.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I want to play a game for the next 5 minutes. I want you to pretend like you like this movie. I just want to hear the difference in how you speak.
Okay.
Because it sounds like you're about to fall asleep while talking.
We
have to keep our listeners awake.
Okay. You want some fucking energy up in this piece?
Yeah. Fake energy.
All right, here we go. Okay. So this movie came out August 16, 2002. You want to know what the number one song at the Billboard Hot 100 was that week?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Dilemma, Nelly, featuring Kelly Rowland. Not a song I recognize. I bet if I heard it.
I'd hear it. Yeah, I'd recognize it. I'm sure.
But more importantly, number 2, Nelly, again, with Nelly's big hit, Hot in Her.
Oh.
It has just dropped off the number 1 slot. Number 3.
Nelly having a good year.
Yeah.
St. Louis boy.
He's going to come up again. Number 3, a song that lives in infamy. Complicated, Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. Why'd you have to go and make things that way?
Yeah. Number 4, a song that I don't think I'd recognize with a now problematic figure. I Need a Girl, Part 2 by P. Diddy and Genuine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Genuine got into some trouble. The other dude, A-OK, though.
A-OK. Number 5, a song I do not recognize, Just a Friend by somebody named Mario.
You say he's just a friend to that song?
Nope. That is...
Different song?
Yeah, that is 10 years previous and Biz Markie. I know the entire song. Number 6, Down For You by Irv Gotti presents The Incorporated featuring Ja Rule, Ashanti, Charlie Baltimore, and Vita. I don't know that one either.
No.
Here's one I know. It's a song that you know as well. It was on the major movie of that summer. It features maybe your favorite artist.
Oh, damn. Keep going. I was going to make an ironic guess, but that might be what you're going for, and then I accidentally guess it.
No, it's actually one of your favorite artists.
Okay.
It was on the soundtrack to Spiderman, and it is Chad Kroeger featuring Josie Scott, Hero.
Okay, fuck you. Chad Kroeger is not my favorite artist.
One of your favorite artists.
No, I am a Nickelback apologist. I am not necessarily a Nickelback fan.
Okay, sure. Keep saying that. Number 8, Just Like a Pill by Pink. Don't know that song. I'm just going to skip ahead to, number 13, which is, let me see if I can get you, let me see if I can steer you to this artist by not saying who it is. So it's a deeply cursed artist.
Deeply cursed, okay.
At least in my mind. Very popular, right around 2000 to 2002, started out getting like kind of adult contemporary-ish hits. His career has continued off and on for the past 25 years. He was a stand-up comedian for a while.
Oh boy.
He
That should give
has
it away.
It should. He has dated many, many famous women. He says his dick is racist. Or no, his dick is a white supremacist in Rolling Stone magazine.
I remember that, but I can't remember who it is.
He's currently playing with some sort of version or regeneration of the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
He
I should know
plays
this.
utterly soulless white guy blues.
You're going to have to tell me.
John Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad times, man. Let's
If you'd have
see.
said he was on the Dave Chappelle show, I might have pulled it.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I wouldn't have.
I avoided John Mayer as much as possible in my life.
Yeah, that shit's bad. Okay, zipping along to a song that we both love. Number 20, Lurda, featuring Mystical and Infamous 2.0. Move, bitch, get out the way.
Great song. I've probably been on the charts for a while at that point, if it was only 20.
It is, let's see. Oh, no, it is climbing the charts. It's the 11th week. Last week, it was number 20.
Well, that's what it is this week.
Or last week, it was 24. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. How did
I don't think that song was super popular. It just became kind of a meme.
Okay. Well, yeah. Regardless, it was in
Great
Bad Boys
video.
too. So, number 23, another one of your favorite bands.
I'm not even going to fucking guess.
I think on their third album, might be their second. One Last Breath by
I
Creed.
fucking knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Not my favorite band. Maybe top 10. I'm joking. Although I do enjoy them.
Number 24.
Shout out to Broach.
Yeah. I bet he's a Nickelback fan too.
I don't know. You have to ask him.
I will not. I don't want to have that conversation.
I'm not a Nickelback fan. Just don't think they deserve the hate that they got.
So number 24, a song I don't like by an artist I don't like. Soak Up the Sun, Sheryl Crow. It was one of the
that's a
biggest.
jam.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest fucking songs of that year. I remember
huge.
waking up to that so many times on my clock radio.
You had a Groundhog Day situation with "Soak Up the Sun" by Sheryl Crow in place of the Sonny and Cher song.
Actually, the one that I really had a fucking Groundhog Day situation with that same year, I seemingly every other day for weeks, I would hear that fucking Moby song with Gwen Stefani.
I hate that fucking song.
When my fucking clock radio would click and I would, get up to go to work at O'Reilly's, and it would as soon as it clicked on, it would be somewhere in the middle of that. Is it South Side? Is that the name of that song? Fuck, I hated it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible song. Off a terrible album.
Yeah.
We not too long ago, a couple years ago, was in this group that revisited albums from the past, and that one came up, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Moby fans.
Yeah, I bet. I mean,
Gwen Stefani, not sorry for your fans because she sucks now.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know any details. I did hear within the past week, she took a hard right turn.
She took a hard right turn.
I am not surprised based on literally everything I know about her for the past 30 years.
Yeah. Should we get back to the recap?
I want to go down some more of this. This is much more entertaining than the movie. Right. Number 38, a song by a band that we both dislike. We heard them so much in the year of our Lord 2007 on The Buzz.
Don't know.
By the way, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, I fucking hate them. God.
39.
I know they're RHCP fans, and I'm sorry. I cannot stand. I'm mad now.
Yeah, understandable. Number 39, Local Boys Made Good, Eric.
Oh, that's got to be my boys. Puddle of Mud, baby.
And what's their song?
Blurry? It's probably their song at the time.
Yes,
I actually genuinely, from my heart, love that song.
Oof, bad.
I know it's bad.
Okay. Let's see. Going down the charts a little more, No Doubt was at number 44 with something called Hella Good, which I wonder if that's what made people in the Midwest start saying hella, and if so, I'm angry about it.
Hella angry about it, clearly.
57, The Rising, Bruce Springsteen.
Also, Hella, great Marvel villain. Sorry, go ahead.
That's true.
Joke wasn't worth it.
Kate Blanchett, Step on My Neck. 58, Hoobastank.
Oh, The Reason? Was it The Reason? No, that was older.
No, this is Running Away. I don't know. Okay, new on the charts this week, 67, System of a Down, Aerials. There's a fucking Broche song.
I like that song. That's one of my... I'm not a huge System of a Down fan, but I like that one.
I can never keep which of their songs is which.
Aerials in the sky.
Oh, okay, sure.
They played it a lot while we were working on houses.
Okay, I'm done with this fucking Billboard shit.
Okay.
Anyway, that was 5 minutes. Okay.
It was 2002 in music.
Yeah.
Pretty garbage, except for the Creed.
Yeah.
And Blurry.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So Rosario Dawson wants to get back to Earth because she got a job at the club and they only gave her a one-way ticket and the club closed down. And Eddie Murphy says, okay,
it's a dumb backstory.
Great, you can be a waitress. Yeah. And we're like, okay, great. Also, her moon card expired, which sounds like a period thing. Like, I honestly, the first time I watched it, I was like, wait, is she pregnant? What? and then I realized, oh no, they just mean visa. But they didn't think that they thought the audience would be too dumb to know what a visa was, so they just decided to call it moon card.
It does sound like something Donald Trump would sell for $5 million.
Yeah. Pluto knows her dad from prison. Oh, and we get our first mention of a dead brand, where Pluto says, no, me and your dad will be even if there's a brand new Plymouth parked outside waiting for me. Which is kind of fun because this movie shot in the year 2000, didn't come out till 2002. In 2001, in the summer, Plymouth, the brand, died.
All right, Plymouth.
That's another thing. I've got a list of important milestones in Plymouth automotive history. We can go down that if you want.
Maybe save it for later. We need it.
Okay. So then Joe Pantoliano, Joey Pants arrives with the...
What a great actor that could have been any fucking person in this movie. And
honestly.
Utterly worthless. I mean, not worthless, just boring.
He was doing exactly... Like, he was doing the best he possibly could with nothing.
I want to see him do like Cypher. Was he Cypher in The Matrix? Was that his character? Or his Memento character?
2 years before this.
Yeah, what the
1
fuck?
year before this.
He's just a guy in a bad wig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so Joey Pants shows up along with the albino guy who usually plays a gangster in movies between the years of 2000 and 2007. Very
prominent lazy eye, very recognizable.
Yeah, apparently he's a stand-up comic. I've never seen him or heard his bits, but apparently he's initially a stand-up and also legally blind, which, sure, I buy that. So it turns out that Joey Pants is a rep for some organized crime guy named Rex Crater, who wants to buy Pluto's club for 10 million moon bucks. I don't know. Oh, Hillary bucks. That's
Hillary
right.
Bucks. That's
there's the second dead brand.
That got a massive eye roll.
Yeah. And then the albino guy gets aggressive. And then we meet our, third main character, Bruno, an old, outdated android bodyguard played by Randy Quaid in a bald cap. And it's pure... It's a level of fucking Buster Keaton and Chaplin comedic performance.
He really
real slow.
Really dislike it.
It's also horny.
On almost every level, I dislike it.
Yeah, it's bad.
I hate Randy Quaid. Although Randy Quaid, I guess he's had his moments. Like he's funny in the vacation movies.
I actually did some math on this. I was like, wow, is this the last time I liked Randy Quaid? And the answer was no. I was surprised to find.
Really, there's been since this that you liked Randy Quaid.
Yes, he was really good in a 2005 movie called The Ice Harvest that starred John Cusack and Oliver Platt. It's about some guys trying to get away from organized crime in Wichita in like 1982.
Heard of that town.
And it's based on a Scott Smith novel, I think his name was. Anyway, that was a good movie. And then also in 2005, he was good in Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and those were 3 years after this. I mean, I can count on like, I don't know, 2 hands probably the number of Randy Quaid performances that I've liked.
Clearly, Independence Day being one of them.
It's hard to dislike that performance, even though it is the cheapest shit imaginable. Crazy veteran obsessed with alien abductions. But he's very, I hesitate to say charming, but he's doing the work, I guess.
I've never had a problem with Randy Quaid. He is unbearable in this movie.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to point out, I don't know if anybody noticed it. I had this epiphany, like literally upon waking this morning after I watched this last night. He is a slave. I would almost think that Eddie Murphy would have noticed that he's just toting around a slave who he's abusing throughout the whole movie. Maybe that was part of the joke. Black guy gets a slave. But you think they would.
Later, he talks about how he plugged a happiness chip into him, so Randy Quaid is forced to be happy all the time.
Yeah, was that them?
I don't know, man. I'm not even going to begin to.
This movie isn't going to dive.
This movie,
yeah, it's not going to get into that deep. But I mean, they hint at times that Bruno is not happy with the way he's being treated, and there's nothing he can do about it because he is functionally
a slave,
an enslaved creature.
And don't forget, he's horny.
He is.
It's a
he wants
problem.
to fuck other robots.
Yeah. He's like a bodyguard. He's an old, outdated version. He walks real slow and talks funny. I don't know. Pluto says no, kicks the guys out of his club. Rosario Dawson brings some drinks up to him. I noticed the vermouth bottle said Moontini, which made me sick to my stomach.
There's a couple of jokes that I like.
That one, I was like, what does that vermouth bottle say? Moontini. It's so dumb and bad.
When they're doing the the video call, his address is AOL at Moonnet or something stupid like that. They really thought AOL was going to stick around.
It's real dumb. And she and he are talking, and then Joey Pants calls to offer him a last chance to take the offer, and then the club blows up.
Very green screeny explosion.
Yeah, the score is really bad at this point. It's super intrusive. And the guy who blew up the club shoots at Pluto and then runs off, leads an incredibly boring foot chase through the moon to another club, which is obviously a trap. And
I feel like that club scene was just the same one with the chairs moved around.
Yeah, it was. And then Bruno and Rosario Dawson arrive and save him using blaster sounds from X-Wings.
Yeah, they did sound familiar. The guns look really they look like real guns, but they shoot lasers. Yeah,
they just bolted some extra spray painted shit onto real guns. And now Rosario is trapped and identified by the bad guys because all the clubs have biometrics or something, so she can't leave the moon. And then we go to a crappy moontel.
Plus, she's on her moon card, which it's hard to leave the moon when you're on your moon card.
Yeah, a moontel is a motel, but on the moon. We recharge Randy Quaid.
Josh, I'm going to have to ask you, pep it up again.
Okay, here's something I will actually pep up for. So, Pluto goes to meet his friend Roland, who is played by Peter Boyle. And I like
the
Peter
great Peter
Boyle
Boyle.
a lot.
Of course we do. We all like Peter Boyle. He's the Frankenstein's monster.
He's the monster in Young Frankenstein. He's putting on the fucking Ritz, man.
He puts him on like no one else.
Yeah, he is given almost nothing to do in this film.
And still manages to be probably the most charismatic character in it.
He really is. He makes some jokes about how he should have married Eddie Murphy's mom. I don't know. He's an ex-cop, and
He
now
just
a
eats pizza
private
while playing
investigator.
pool.
Yeah, they play moon pool somehow. I don't know exactly. Pulls pizza out of a fucking dispenser.
That's kind of neat.
We established that the bad guy, Rex Crater, lives in a penthouse above the, like, fucking Moon Hyatt or some shit. He's maybe a clone. And we get a lead. Okay, so Pluto goes to him because he needs to find out about Rex Crater and says, I need you to hack police files. So we then go to Peter Boyle's house, where his version of hacking police files is turning on his computer and saying, find records of Rex Crater vocally. And then the computer says none. And then we get a lead in the form of he remembers that he thought Rex Crater went to this plastic surgeon / cloning person who made a basketball team out of all one guy. Oh, yeah, the Air Jordans.
One old guy, yeah.
Yeah. So
There was some point around here when my wife turned to me and says, is this supposed to be a comedy? Because neither of us had laughed yet. And I go, I think it is.
Yeah, I don't think there's an argument that it's supposed to be something else. I mean,
Yeah.
It's certainly not supposed to be a drama.
No. Or action. There's some action in it.
But yeah,
They were going for Fifth Element.
I guess, yeah, they fucking fumbled bad. So then after he gets this lead, Pluto goes back to the hotel room, picks up Rosario Dawson. They're going to go meet the former assistant to this cloning doctor to see if they can find out anything about what this cloner did to Rex Crater or something.
You want to just? I'm sorry. Do you want to just do Fifth Element next week?
Honestly, yeah. That movie is so much fun.
I feel like it would be.
It's a
nice palate
going to be
cleanser.
a great contrast to this.
We don't get to use my new sound, the dick alert.
That's true, but yeah, let's do Fifth Element next week. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So, okay, now
that's
I'm
a
high
little
energy. All right,
Peek about how the sausage is made. Sometimes we just do it live.
fuck it, we'll do it live. So we go to see this doctor's former assistant. It is played by Ileana Douglas, an actress that I love,
Yeah, she's great
who is
in every other movie.
throughout. Like, this scene is so fucking weird because I cannot for the life of me tell. I thought for the first 75% of her screen time that, oh, she literally was never in a room with Eddie Murphy and Rosario Dawson. Every shot, she is framed entirely separate from them.
Really? Even when they're at the desk?
Only once they get to the desk and certain parts of it is she there. So I assume that, okay, so this movie was obviously reshot because it was fucking trash.
Yeah.
And apparently that full opening scene in the bar with Jay Moore in a kilt, that was totally new from reshoots. Like, the movie started, Pluto's Club, bopping, whatever. And I assume they had to completely redo a bunch of plot elements. And Ileana Douglas probably got called back for fucking reshoots to stand in a closet and say, oh, you're not cops, are you? You have to tell me if you are, or whatever. So there is a tiny funny bit of like sort of what ifs, because they're pretending to be a couple who wants to get plastic surgery. And
if you've only seen clips of this movie on the internet, this is probably the clip you've seen, because I've seen this pop up as kind of a funny thing.
I have not, but I totally see that, because it is entirely out of context. Sure, I can see how this is funny. Also, muscly Rosario Dawson, step on my neck. Like,
yeah.
It's
a pretty good scene. Like,
hey, yeah,
Eddie Murphy's cracking jokes. He's leaning way too much on the.
I don't
she
want
needs
to be
a bigger
big
butt
doofus
joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's like at first when he says it, it's funny. Give my wife a bigger butt. That's hilarious. And then he does it like 5 times. And it's like, dude, chill. Now it just seems like you're obsessed with asses.
Yeah. So they pretend to be cops who were, I don't know, running a sting. And they get information from Billy Ann and Douglas. And she says, oh, the only thing I know is that I saw a guy with a briefcase that said WZW on it. And then they go back to the hotel. We meet Pam Grier, who's Pluto's mom, for no fucking reason. She has nothing to do in the film.
They just needed to shove somebody famous in there, I guess.
I guess. I don't know.
Not that she's like super famous, but
no.
It was good to see her. She rules.
Yeah, she's great. So then some gangsters show up for seemingly no reason. We're going to find out later why they knew to come here. The desk clerk calls ahead and tells Pluto like gangsters are on their way up. Bruno's horny for a robot maid. Then there's a fucking shootout and ambush. Pam Grier shoots some of the bad guys. And they get some spacesuits.
Crush a wall on them or something?
Yeah, they get some spacesuits from Peter Boyle and steal a car.
And they specifically order one for a woman because...
About 5'7".
Yeah, because I guess they require different spacesuits.
Yeah.
Gotta have room for them things.
Yeah, you gotta. So then they go steal a car, and the car is John Cleese.
I've remembered liking, maybe it's because I was young and liked John Cleese. I remember thinking the car bit was funny. It was not funny.
No, there's nothing funny about it at all.
It was.
There are things delivered in ways where you can tell the filmmakers slightly paused so the audience could laugh.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that Eddie is not Mr. Vandervoort, who is the owner of the car they steal. So they go to an old smuggling base on like the far side of the moon. There's some.
Why didn't this? I know we got it. I know we want to get through this as much as you do, but why didn't, in theory, guy stealing roguish hero steals a car, stuffy British thing makes fun of him the whole time. This should be funny. Why was it not funny? Why was it unbearable to sit through?
I can't tell you. I mean, I can't explain why something isn't funny. It's like, I don't know, it's like proving a negative somehow.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
I can't.
On paper, it seems like it'd be gold, though.
On paper, I don't see why it wouldn't work, but you see the results on screen, and it clearly does not fucking work. I mean,
it just keeps going on, and John Cleese just keeps talking, once again, seeming like he's not in the room talking to himself into a microphone.
Which is absolutely 100% the case.
Yeah, probably with fucking Clem Fandango running the boards.
Yeah. Oh man,
imagine this scene.
Imagine Matt Berry.
Matt Berry. Oh god, we might need to do a remake. Anyway, continue with the recap. They get to his secret moon base.
They get to his secret moon base. There's like a freeze-dried chihuahua.
It's like a bachelor pad where you can watch movies.
And fuck a horny maid robot who drops things and says, oops, and bends over and shows her butt.
Randy Quaid non-consensually slaps it, but I guess she's a robot slave, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not good. And then we see a standalone scene of Joey Pants getting ripped apart by James Rebhorn, who's a great character actor. He's been on the show before. He will be again.
Yeah, he's a lot.
Yeah, he died, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. But a huge loss to character actor.
Yeah.
Character actor guy in a tie, specifically.
We need an authoritative white guy.
Yeah.
Get him in here.
Yeah. So then so once we get to the moon base, we are 42 minutes into the movie and we get the first bit of, hey, low gravity and spacesuits.
Yeah.
Like
Rosario Dawson's playing around having fun.
Yeah.
It's probably the most charming part of it. Like the only.
Yeah, probably.
She just seems like she's enjoying herself.
And you notice at this point, Rosario Dawson's spacesuit is like her pants are boot cut. Showing you again that is 2002.
Okay, I didn't notice that, but I believe
it has little
it is
flares.
The most 2002 ever.
Yeah. The only The only thing that would make this more 2002 is if she bent over in her spacesuit and there was a thong whale tail sticking up.
Whale tail with a tramp stamp, yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing she said no to that.
Probably.
Probably. So Pluto fires up his computer, does some Googling. He can't find anything about this WCW. Rosario Dawson points out that WCW is MZM.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And then we do some Googling and find out it's Earth Gangster named Michael Marucci, who is in news clips played by Alec Baldwin, being Alec Baldwin as a gangster.
Push the guy down the stairs.
And we see James Rebhorn in that scene. So from this, we determined that Mike Marucci is Rex Crater relocated to the moon. Sort of. So we cut to Peter Boyle meeting an FBI contact. The FBI guy shoots him. Pam Grier calls Pluto about it. They're going to leave and go fight Marucci. And then some Joey Pants and some thugs show up in a space Winnebago.
Yeah.
And there's a shootout and shit blows up.
They depressurize his base. Here's one thing that bothered me. I couldn't get over it. I don't know, of all the dumb shit in this movie, why this bothered me. They have spacesuits on. Mm-hmm. They're on the moon. There's low gravity. They're bouncing around. They're trying to hide from these bad guys, and Eddie Murphy puts his finger up to his mouth and goes, shh, as if we must sneak. There's no fucking atmosphere. They're not going to hear you.
Yeah.
I know it's such a petty quibble.
Yeah. Okay.
The whole time.
Yeah, I know, man.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So then we're
going to cover The Fifth Element next week, Josh.
Yes. Okay. So then
it's
there's
like waving a treat in front of a dog's face to get
it is. Then there's a really bad car chase.
It's really bad.
Pluto, Rosario, and Bruno wreck their car.
This shows a little bit of the I don't know, potential maybe, I guess, that it could have had. When he talks about, that's why they call us rim runners or ream runners. Real hoppers.
Yeah.
Because they're out there smuggling on the moon and hopping craters. That makes your brain think, there could be a movie there.
Sure.
But that's not what we see.
That's not the movie we got, though.
Put it aside. He hops a rail once and it's done.
So
and John Cleese dies.
Yeah. So the car wrecks and they start walking. They're going to die. They're going to run out of oxygen before they run out of food and water. Who gives a shit? We kind of wish they'd die anyway.
Yeah.
And then they get rescued by Luis Guzman, who is a Puerto Rican, very specifically a smuggler.
Yeah.
I love Luis Guzman. I'm happy to see him anywhere. This brought a little bit of light to the film.
I guess. Like I was talking to...
He's kind of a bad stereotype.
I was talking to a friend of the show, Sean Faust, about it because he was supposed to be on this episode but couldn't make it due to scheduling conflicts. But he says, was Guzman at least good? And I said, the Goose was a snooze.
Because he's doing the absolute fucking best with what he's got, which is nothing.
Man. I mean, he's a big fan of Pluto Nash because everybody fucking loves Pluto Nash.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love Guzman as much as the next guy, but I've seen him be so good, and he just wasn't in this.
He can be so funny and so charming, or so threatening,
dude. He's so awesome on Narcos.
So much of a fucking teddy bear.
Yeah, that
too. And
he
can do all of this in the same scene. And in this movie, it's just
he's a fanboy.
Pretend you're a fan of Eddie Murphy, except his name is Pluto Nash. So anyway, he gives them a ride to the fucking Lunar Grand Hotel, and they're gonna go fight Rex Crater or whatever. Bruno gets sexually assaulted by a slot machine. And then gets taken into custody to just get him out of the movie for 5 minutes. I don't know.
I guess.
So they're going to try and hook up with Jay Moores, who is now Tony Franco, the Italian crooner.
Francis.
Yeah, Tony Francis. So they get some tickets to his show. There's a little bit of confusion on the casino floor when Luis Guzman draws attention to Pluto Nash. alerting the authorities to it. And then we see some of Jay Moore's show where he's
way more than we needed to.
He's just doing fucking Fly Me to the Moon.
It's just a Sinatra impersonation.
Really is like dead on. The one funny bit of this was that he draws attention to his Ted Jeffries orchestra and like points, and then a little shell rotates around on the stage, and the whole Ted Jeffries orchestra is one awkward looking white guy with a small keyboard who starts the next song by pressing one key. Yeah, and that's kind of funny, like from a music.
Yes.
So then,
but then we get to meet his wives.
Justin, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So then the authorities are like the bad guys are showing up, and we do a classic, exactly like Chevette and Buell last week.
Yeah.
Nash kisses Rosario Dawson to avoid being seen.
Except Rosario Dawson is into it.
Yeah. And this
kind
is
of overselling it, if you ask me, from her facial features.
In my notes, I wrote literally the only thing other than the English language that this has in common with All Tomorrow's Parties. There is nothing
keep bumping
else.
Your mic, by the way.
Oh, sorry. So we meet Jay's wives. He's gonna. So the wives are clones. He doesn't remember which one is the real one.
Some of that good casual early 2000s misogyny. That which one's the original? Who cares?
Who cares? They both fuck me.
Yeah, I get to have sex with him. I'm Jay Moore.
Yeah. One thing I did find interesting about this was both of the girls, who I think they were played by separate, like I assume twin sisters.
Twins? Yeah.
They look exactly like Jamie Lee O'Donnell from Dairy Girls, Michelle.
Yeah, I can see that, sure.
Like it, I honestly had to look it up. I was like, she is not that old. This is impossible, but she looks way like them. And they have Queen's accents, so it's like the fucking nanny. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And they're making Sambuca and what's the other shit they're making?
Osabuca and Gnocchi. Yeah, just from J Moore's mom's recipe.
Tony's mama.
Yeah.
I'm Jay Moore. I'm the fucking guy from Go with Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes and Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, I'm in a bunch of shit. You don't remember? I'm Jay Moore.
Now I'm married to the woman that owns the Lakers or something.
I was addicted to NyQuil. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna sneak up. Moore is gonna sneak Pluto up to the penthouse that Rex Schrader lives in through the elevator shaft.
This scene is dumb and stupid.
This is the only part of the movie where it actually got a bit of a chuckle out of me.
Oh, really? Okay. What did I miss?
It's just okay. So they get into the elevator. They stop the private elevator. Jay Moore's opens up a fucking panel on the wall. A grating falls down like 500 stories. Okay. He says, "Oh shit, I got to get that later."
That actually is kind of a good throwaway joke. I do remember laughing at that.
Yeah. And then he explains how Pluto is going to get to the penthouse by, okay, so you got to back up. You're going to have to dive through this panel in the wall. Then you land on this ledge over there, and you see a ledge that's like 6 inches wide. Mm-hmm. And then in about an hour and a half, when Rex's dinner is getting sent up to him, you'll jump on top of that elevator as it's going up. You'll drop down inside, kill the guards, and it's just this whole deeply elaborate, like you gotta avoid the electric wires, like action movie bullshit.
Yeah,
which Jay Moore is just presenting as, okay, so you got to do this and this and this, and then you'll get up to Rex Schrader's apartment, and it's very clearly not the movie we are watching, but the way he explains it is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all of 30 seconds of humor. And
I'm Jay Moore. I was in Jerry Maguire.
And the high point of this film.
Literally, I mean, they are the top of the elevator.
Yeah. Okay. So then it turns out Pluto's like, what's plan B? And, we also sent Rosario Dawson down to get Bruno out of the lockup. Because, again, we needed her out of the movie for 30 seconds. I don't know.
For something to do.
Yeah. So plan B is that they get off the elevator, James Redhorn's there, and tases the shit out of him. So,
yay!
And then we see a scene where Rosario Dawson and Bruno are immediately captured.
Yay!
So we go to Marucci or Rex Crater's office, and we are faced with the back of a big fancy office chair, and like James Redhorn says something like, "Okay, we got him, boss," and Eddie Murphy's there, and it is at this point that I go, "Oh God, it's going to be Eddie Murphy in the fucking chair, isn't it?" And the chair turns around, and the big reveal is that, yes, it is Eddie Murphy in the chair.
Hey, if you put money on Eddie Murphy playing multiple roles in one movie, you're going to win money every time.
Almost always, God, yeah. And it's bad. It turns out that, oh yeah, also he's very evil. He immediately shoots Joey Pants and the albino guy for failing him because, it's a bad guy. Bad guy shit. Turns out that...
They did deserve it. They were incompetent.
Yeah, sure.
Not good henchmen. As a fan of henchmen, Joey Pants was not holding up.
Yeah, that's true. So it turns out that 8 years ago, Eddie Murphy got his appendix taken out while he was in prison. And then Michael Marucci wanted to have a man like in place on the moon who knew all about the moon. So he had Eddie Murphy cloned from this appendix. And they mention, and obviously as your clone, I have all your memories, which is how I knew you'd go to that hotel and your moon base.
Obviously,
so,
that's how cloning works.
Yeah. And then he says, and of course I killed Marucci because I knew I could do better. So everybody's in the office, and yeah, it's Eddie Murphy. And the clone, like, okay, so then the clone like presses a button, and we see a model of what he's going to do to Pluto's club, and he's going to turn it into a gambling place, I guess.
So I don't understand. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm arguing the logic,
yeah.
But they're the same guy with the same memories. One of them wants to start a casino. The other one is like morally objects to casinos. And I don't understand how that happens, and it doesn't matter. And I don't know why I'm bringing it up, and I hate myself. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then we do a little fist fight and some classic clone confusion. Like, no, I'm really
some real Looney Tunes shit, but bad.
He's Rex Crater. Shoot him. Back and forth.
Very long scene.
And then
how when you watch a fight scene and you're like, I'm invested in this because I want that good guy to win. Oh no, the good guy got punched. That makes me sad because I want him to win. And this one, you don't know who's who. It's just people fighting, and there's absolutely no
people fighting bad too.
Yeah, not good fighting.
Yeah. So then Pluto solves this by standing up, getting a gun, and shooting Bruno. To prove that he's Rex Crater, and then
we know that he hates his slave.
Yeah, the bad guy guards shoot Rex Crater. It was a trick, and then we find out at this late edition that should have been seated, I don't know, an hour beforehand, that Bruno's okay because, like Pluto always says, never leave home without an undershirt, and it turns out this undershirt is bulletproof.
Yeah, they really should have put that in. Maybe they did.
Like, wow, they should have seeded that at some point. And then, of course, because Rex Crater is a clone of Pluto Nash and has all his memories, he's also wearing a bulletproof undershirt. There's some more shooting. He goes out the window. Who cares? So then
lands on a craps table and dies.
Yeah. So then,
right as someone says. He said some wrong craps terminology.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it stuck out to me too.
Yeah,
I was just so tired of writing things about this movie. So then we cut to, I don't know, sometime in the future. We're back to Club Pluto. It's all rebuilt. Rosario is singing a very bad song.
Terrible 2000.
Yeah, we
got R&B song.
Pump it up. I don't know. Who cares?
It's horrible.
Jay Moore's there and his wives, and so is Louis Guzman.
It's a classic. All the characters from the film get together to, I don't know, have a party.
And then Bruno is named as the new manager of the club. Rosario's song still fucking sucks. And the movie ends. Thank fucking God.
We did.
Okay.
That's
right.
a big desk slam.
Sorry. That's my fault. I'm just exhausted thinking about this. So would you like to know how much this movie cost?
I know it's very high considering the product we got. So yes, I would.
It is somewhere north, unconfirmed, of $100 million.
Jesus goddamn fucking Christ.
Would you like to know how much money this made at the box office?
Also, I know that it's a very small number, so hit me.
$7.1 million. This is, if you look on IMDb for box office flops, this is number 5 in the all-time list.
Oh, nice. What beats it?
The 13th Warrior.
Okay. Which isn't nearly as bad of a movie.
It's not nearly as bad of a movie, and it's hobbled by the fact that there was a lot of production chaos and they changed directors partway through. Something called the 355 from 3 years ago, which I do not recognize. Apparently, Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz is in it.
Huh.
Diane Kruger, Lupita Nyong'o. How the fuck did I not see that? Number 3, 47 Ronin, a Keanu film from 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
And the director is currently being sued by Netflix for failing to deliver a movie they paid him $10 million for.
Oops.
And then number 4, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's bad. So this was a movie we saw.
It's amazing that Rosario Dawson had a pretty good career after this, considering what a setback you would maybe think it was, or maybe so few people saw it that nobody even noticed.
I think that's it. I really think that is. Let's see, other things that were out this weekend. Triple X, the first one.
Good.
Yeah, hot shit. Signs in its second weekend.
Okay, yeah.
That was a movie.
One of the better Shyamalan joints.
Yeah, all right. Blue Crush.
Never saw it.
That was a surfing movie, I think.
It was. Yeah, 3 ladies.
Yeah.
One of our what's the woman from Young Americans was one of the stars of it, I believe.
Oh,
main character from Young Americans.
Yes. Shit, I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, Spy Kids 2. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Number 5, Austin Powers Inc. Gold member.
Oh wow.
6, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That was biggest hit of the year in terms of return on its budget. Number 7, Bloodwork, which was a totally okay Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges movie.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't say, are you sure? I said sure, as in agreeing with you.
Yeah. Number 8, Road to Perdition. Good. Pretty good
love
movie.
That movie.
Yeah.
Love
Number
Paul
6.
Newman.
Number 6, another infamously bad film. The Master of the Skies with Dana Carvey.
Oh, yeah.
See, he plays a guy that looks like a turtle.
Yeah.
I guess.
Ooh, that is, wow, they're out at the same time. Wow.
Yeah.
What a year.
The fun thing about Master of Disguise is they were shooting that in the month of September 2001.
Oh.
In fact,
nothing else happened that month.
In fact, one of the days they were shooting a scene with Dana Carvey in turtle makeup, the towers fell. And they had already been shooting that morning for a while. They heard the news, and he, in turtle makeup, asked everybody on set for a moment of silence. And it is picture that. Picture 100 people on a movie set, fucking gaffers and actors and a director and
probably like a roll-in TV with CNN playing on a loop. Everybody gathered around it, biting their nails, and Dana Carvey steps up in turtle makeup.
And says,
in the Garth voice,
"Oh my God, it's majestic, and also the most cursed thing you can imagine.
Yeah, man, what a bad time the turn of the century was.
Boy, I don't know. We had some rough fucking years there.
Well, my favorite song on the Billboard Top 50 was "Blurry" by Puddle of Mud. The song's all right, but Top 50? Come on, that was a bad time.
It's the only saving grace of that was Hot and Her.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Move Bitch.
Yeah. Okay,
right, we got to wrap this episode up, but man, I can't resist. Can you just in 60 seconds blast me out some Plymouth facts?
Oh, Plymouth facts, fucking great. All right, here, where's my tab? All right, so in 1955, Plymouth offered their first fucking V8. That was really important. Plymouth had initially been introduced in, I want to say 28 by the Chrysler Corporation, as a low cost mark.
Mm-hmm, we all know that.
Yeah. And they had a, lot of success as that. Let's see, notable Plymouths. Let's see, in 1960, the Valiant came out, which was the new compact car. Right. It was, it was. I
want everybody to listen to how excited Josh's voice is now compared to when we were talking about Pluto Nash.
Oh, hey, you know what a notable Plymouth was? The Plymouth fucking Fury. 1957 Plymouth Fury was Christine. All right.
Oh yeah.
And also, they were fucking great muscle cars. 1964, they rolled out the Barracuda, which is a fastback and had the biggest glass ever manufactured for an American automobile at the time on its, on its back hatch. Wonderful.
Pretty cars.
Yeah. That's not my favorite generation, but they are cute. They had the Roadrunner, with licensed character from Looney Tunes. The horn made a beep beep.
Yeah.
That was 68, I think. Let's see. Let's jump ahead. Get out of muscle cars. You want to talk about the K car? Let's talk about the K cars.
I do. I don't know if we should record it, but
1981, the Plymouth Reliant was the first K car released, and it saved the Chrysler Corporation. Small front-wheel drive 4-cylinder to compete with the Japanese. They offered Ks in every possible trim level, from fucking Chrysler New Yorkers that were 6 feet long and just draped in leather to the most shitbox 6 feet long vinyl interior nothing Reliance. Very important in terms of keeping Chrysler afloat.
I think 60 seconds is up.
Okay,
I think we've done
good.
enough on Plymouth. We can do more Plymouth talk if we get another really bad movie.
Okay.
But thanks for coming to our TED Talk. All right. That was fun.
Let's rate this piece of shit, I guess.
Yeah. Story 1 to 10. It gets a 2.
I don't even I guess it was coherent.
I'm reserving ones for bad, movies that don't really have a story, that are just kind of more vibes.
Okay.
Lawnmower Man got a 1. Cyborg got a 1. I don't know. Maybe I should give it a 1.
No, I think 2 is probably right, because those movies had terrible and incoherent stories. This was coherent.
Yeah. Influence on what not to do. I guess it deserves some points. I'll give it a 4.
So, I don't know.
You don't want to end up like Pluto Nash. A target to avoid is influential.
It is. 3, I guess.
Prescience.
0.
I don't.
Okay, 1, I guess.
I don't see any of this shit happening, and prevalence of gambling invading every facet of our lives. I guess they kind of saw that, but that's not really what they were going for. So I'm not giving them points for it.
Yeah.
Style. I'm gonna give him a 3. I like some of the designs in this movie.
I liked nothing in the designs of this movie.
That's fair.
This is this is another one of those movies, and this time I'm not saying it in a positive way. Sometimes I say this positively. You can nail this movie down to a 6-month period.
Yeah, you can.
And in this movie, it is a very bad 6-month period that should not be remembered. Like,
Fair enough.
That's a 1 from me, dog.
one from you, dog. Hand raisers, pretty solid 1.
Yeah, it's a... Yeah, 1 is the highest I can possibly go.
Yeah. It's, I mean, we rated it higher than Jason X, and if you put a gun to my head and told me that I had to watch one of those movies and suicide is not an option, then I would probably pick this over Jason X.
But have you heard that suicide is painless?
I mean, obviously, of the 3, suicide is the choice, but whatever. We got to get out of here. Next week, we decide on the fly we're going to cover The Fifth Element, because I think that's what this movie was using as its inspiration and failed so dramatically, and it might be fun to compare and contrast a little.
Yeah. And that movie's got a shitload to talk about. Like, there's no chance I will be going off on what the Billboard Hot 100 was.
Yeah, we got plenty to talk about within the film.
Yeah.
And it's a classic, and it's not very cyberpunk, but that's fine. It's close enough.
But it has fucking Leeloo Dallas multipass.
It does. It's our first Bruce Willis movie on the pod.
And our first Chris Tucker movie.
Yeah, true. And our
Ruby
first
Ride.
Gary, what's his name? Oldman. God, I don't know. I was blanking. Is it our first Gary Oldman movie?
Probably.
We've talked about Dracula a lot.
Yeah. Our first Tiny Lister movie?
All right. So, yeah. Everybody, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/hightechlowlife. Occasionally, we watch movies on it. We are overdue for one now and need to get on that.
I don't know. Honestly, Fifth Element probably be a pretty banger watch.
Yeah, we've both watched it 100 times. That'd probably be a good one. Maybe we should schedule that this week. So check out the Patreon. Hopefully soon we'll have a watch along of Fifth Element on there. Also,
our first Luke Perry movie. Yeah.
Email us. We recently got an email I wanted to address, but forgot.
Yeah.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, you did.
Email us hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting emails. And we're on Blue Sky at hightechlowlife. And then also our personal accounts at the Frog with a 0 and Count 0 with an X. It's confusing. You'll figure it out.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, go to High Tech Low Life and then search the following or whatever. You'll be fine.
It's easy. Use your noodle.
Yeah. We are on the Astronomica Discord because they are really good friends of ours. So listen to their podcast, which can be accessed from astronomicapodcast.com, and go get a Discord invite. You'll see
your moon card.
Get your fucking moon card and go to the High Tech Low Life channel in there.
Yeah,
you will find me bitching about trailers.
And they're nice and don't mind our listeners invading their safe space, as long as they're not assholes, which so far they haven't been. Well,
fucking
for the most
be
part.
cool.
Be cool.
All right,
be cool, guys. It's not our house. We just got one room in it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're done. Goodbye. You got a quote?
Oh fuck. No. I closed my fucking tabs already. I have enough contempt for this movie. No, I don't have a quote for it. Fuck it.
I've got one.
Great.
That's a cryogenic chihuahua. Bye.
Bad fucking movie, man.
This has been the High Tech Low Life podcast. Find us on Twitter at Johnny60seconds, email us at hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com, and find us on Patreon at patreon.com/hightechlowlife. Theme music by Nihilor at nihilor.com. Thank you for listening.
Keep it moving. Come on, what are you waiting on? Let's go.
They're trashing our rights, man! They're trashing the fluid data! They're trashing! Trashing! Trashing!
Everybody out.
Hike the